Kowloon Generic Romance Episode 2. This might be one of the best anime of this season for sure. I had to go double check if mystery was also part of the description as far as genres, and it's not. The description is just romance and sci-fi. This episode left me with so many other questions, right? It's like at a part of the episode, you have Kudo, Hajime Kudo, who looks like he is also kind of forgetting stuff. And my original thought was, okay, Reiko for sure has amnesia. It seemed that they sold us on that pretty well. She has amnesia. And the theory of Kujirai B, Kujirai A, whatever that they have, because she has a new friend named Yao Mei, and she's discussing it this episode. And the theory is, okay, you have amnesia, and Kudo hasn't told you anything because of the fact that he doesn't want to stir up this stuff in you, especially if you forget who you were. But some subtle differences. She had her ears pierced. Reiko doesn't. Reiko's tone of voice is different. It's like two different voice actors. It's either the voice actor is shifting the way that their voice is or something else, okay? So she definitely had a different voice, a different vibe, and different hairstyle, just slightly, like ever so slight. The new version of Reiko is sexy. The other version seemed like a middle-aged woman. It's kind of hard to make that distinction, but if you know, you know. It's one of those days to where you had this middle-aged woman, still pretty, still beautiful, but then you have the other one who's like, she gives off this more feminine, a little younger vibe with more sexiness there. At least the way that they're animated and depicted, between the two scenes. You have someone who looks like a mom and someone who looks like, not. And I know that's a little harsh, but this is the way I can kind of vividly describe it to you, as there is some physical differences between the two. Then you have the fact that the goldfish in her room, it's kind of like it's spying on her or monitoring her. I don't quite know. Don't take that as, biblical. Like, it's just a guess. And then you have just Kudo's reaction to her, right? He's like, oh, you have crow's feet and you don't have your ears pierced, right? So he's pointing out the distinction difference. And then when she comes back with the earrings, of course, it can still be amnesia, and it's just drumming up a lot of memories in him. But the fact that she comes in and he begins to, he gets really angry. It's like, it's a weird reaction for him to have, and then they show him in the rain, okay? So there's one thing. Then she goes and visits with the doctor, right? And the doctor tells her, oh, it looks like your crow's feet are new. It looks like you were born with them, whatever, and you don't have memories, and he does a weird lipstick shit. He does the weird lipstick stuff, and he gets overly excited about it, and he obviously looks like a villain, so there's all that. But the other thing that I noticed, outside of just his reaction to her facial features and everything else, right? He's like, oh, tell you about your family history, stuff like that. And he's like, I don't know, I don't remember. Outside of that, she also says, oh, hey, welcome Reiko Kujirai, age 32. And when Kudo, when they showed him at the beginning of the episode, and he's like, oh, I transferred here. He's like, I'm 30. I transferred here from the Japan branch. She was like, oh, you're my whatever, like I'm your senior or something. She's like, I'm 32. So another thing there is it's basically no time has passed, or they made it from meeting each other all the way to engagement in under a year, and they're still within that first 12 months. But it's kind of weird because how could he have so much? It's possible to fall in love very quickly, okay? I don't want to say that, but I feel like he has a lot of attachment, and they had a big love, right? So it's like all that happened in under a year, including whatever accident or amnesia cause or sci-fi cause, because there's that weird thing in the sky. Whatever it is, it all happened under a year. So then that leads me to believe, look at my crow's feet. Yeah, I gotta get a consultation too. Let me get some Botox. But all that happened in under a year, it just seems suspect. It seems like I don't really know here, right? And then the last thing is, I had a thought while watching this because of the way that they reacted, and the way that things are kind of playing out, and the fact that the guy at the cafe suddenly quit, and then Kudo was like, oh, I sold this guy his apartment, and then suddenly he gets a 505 error and he can't find any information relevant to him, blah, 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 blah. So then my other thought was like, yo, are they in some kind of like simulation? Is that thing in the sky? Like, do none of them really exist? Or is it one of those situations where there's a video game I played a long time ago called 13 Sentinels, where there were people, like basically there could be people in that thing, like in like pods or something. And then actually on the bottom, they're actually living their lives, but their real bodies and stuff are on the top. And then somebody can F with like the world and the people there, and they can take them in and out, and they can kind of like change things. Like it's like a controlled simulation that maybe their real selves kind of like opted for or experimented on or something like that. And that could be why, like maybe the simulated version of 𝐜𝐴𝐽, the one that Hajime fell in love with, maybe something happened where her simulation ended, but then it restarted with a new version of 𝐜𝐴𝐽. And he doesn't quite know and doesn't quite make sense, but he has these memories that he's holding on to, and others kind of have these memories. So it could be, that's where I said the mystery comes into play, because like it's leading us down a bunch of different avenues. Like, are they in a simulation? Are they in a simulation? Did she have like, was there some kind of like accident and she got amnesia? Did she die or something happened and like she got cloned? Like, because the other thing, right? No piercings, crow's feet from like the beginning of her life. Like basically you were like a copy. Like was she cloned? So like a bunch of different things. Like, okay, did something happen and you know they got into a car accident, or she fell off a building, or she got killed or something, and then there was a clone created. But then who created it? Did Kudo create it? Did he have a hand in it? Did somebody else? And let's say that she did die and she was cloned. Who made that decision? Is it that thing in the sky? But then that begs to differ, that begs the point of like, oh, well, maybe they're in a simulation, you know, because Kudo doesn't seem to have the resources, just being honest, to like, you know, go pay to have her clone. And if cloning is a thing, then why does 𝐜𝐴𝐽 not know anything about it? Why does 𝐜𝐴OME, her friend, not know anything about it? Why is the town, if Kowloon, depicted as being like super old? Why does it look like they're in the 80s or the 90s? But yeah, at the same time, she has like doors that look like they're in a sci-fi universe. It's just there's so much stuff happening, and it just begs a lot of questions. Regardless though, like the animation is top tier. I love the push and pull relationship between 𝐜𝐴𝐽 and Hajime. The fact that they're just so like there's like a lot of sexual tension there, and it's like, ooh, I like that a lot. Overall, this episode was great. It just produced in me the earliest on, like very early on, it produced in me like a ton of questions that I'm just like, my mind's going everywhere. I'm beautiful minding what's the scenario here. Regardless though, I love that 𝐜𝐴𝐽 is trying to appeal to Hajime, which I think is really cool. So anyways, Kowloon Generic Romance episode 2. Fantastic. The guy at the end, effing creepy, creeper skin. I don't like him at all. But wow, what episode. So yeah. All right, my friends. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 3. Peace out.